School is back in session, and so is our Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week. Our first Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Year is quite impressive. Sam Cartes is a senior at Muskegon Catholic Central High School who plays 3 sports: football, basketball, and baseball. Cartes is also in the National Honor Society and the school's vice president. With all of these responsibilities, Cartes is still able to maintain a 3.93 GPA. Cartes hopes to study either business or aerospace engineering in college at either Michigan, Western Michigan, or Kalamazoo College. Cartes says he's definitely received a lot of help along the way.
Just keep on working at it. Never be afraid to ask questions, never be afraid to ask help, because there's always going to be somebody who's better at you, someone smarter that can give you a little bit of wisdom to push you ahead in place. Really just listen to people who have been in your spot, the spot you're trying to get in, because they know way better than you. They can give you tips to get even better.
And get this, Sam is now a Meijer Scholar Athlete, and so was his older brother Tommy 2 years ago. No more bragging rights for Tommy at the dinner table. If you have a Meijer Scholar Athlete you think should be nominated, be sure to head to our website, 13onyourside.com.
Time now to introduce you to another Meijer Scholar Athlete. This week's Scholar Athlete loves sports and hopes to help others when he's done playing them. Comstock Park High School junior Nate Schaub plays 3 sports: baseball, basketball, and tennis. Despite the workload, Schaub maintains a 3.89 GPA, is in the school's National Honor Society, and he volunteers at the school's craft show and babysitting night. As you can imagine, as a 3-sport athlete, Schaub has spent a lot of time in the physical therapist's office. However, he hopes to be in that office in a permanent role someday.
I just think I've had experiences that people have done a lot for me. Parents, extended family, they've done a lot for me. And then I see what the physical therapists do for me. So I feel like it'd just be cool to get back to them as well. I've been there a couple times to the physical therapist, so just something I've kind of been around. Thought might give it a chance.
However, before Schaub becomes a physical therapist, he hopes to play baseball in college. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is lights out on the basketball court and also in the classroom. Forest Hill Central High School junior Jonas Vanderwood shines on the Rangers boys basketball team. He's a sharp shooter and can hit from anywhere on the court. Vanderwood is also shining in the classroom. He's already in AP Calculus and in the National Honor Society with a 4.07 GPA. As much as Vanderwood loves hoops, he says school always comes first.
To be a good student athlete, for me, I would say probably getting my schoolwork done before training and before basketball. You know, if I have homework or I want to go play basketball with my friends, I got to do my homework first so that I can make sure I keep my grades up. Middle school, I would go hang out with my friends, but then a test would come up and I'd be like, oh shoot, I should have done that assignment. On top of practices, obviously do your stuff with your team, but outside of that, make sure you put your school before your sport.
Vanderwood has a goal to play basketball in college. He does not have any offers just yet, but he knows they will come soon. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete has a rigorous schedule and still has time to give back to others. West Michigan Aviation Academy junior Sophia Clark plays right wing for the Griffin 16U girls ice hockey team, who just won a state championship. Clark plays a pivotal role on the team, but also makes sure to get her schoolwork done. She's in the top of her class with a 4.2 GPA. Despite her time on the ice, in the classroom, and her volunteer work with the girls hockey mentoring program, Clark is still able to get everything done.
It takes balancing time, I found. With hockey, you're on the ice a lot, and especially with girls hockey, you're on the state almost every weekend, and you really got to find a way to balance homework and your relationships and your sport. So, I've done a pretty good job this season, so I'm proud of myself. Really just utilizing your time, not just sitting on your phone at home, but you got to get things done and really have a good time at practice, too. Just enjoy the time that you have.
Clark will be enjoying her time in a few weeks as her team is going to nationals in California. As for her future, she's leaning towards a career in engineering at the moment. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week is the definition of an overachiever. Rockford High School junior Ryan Ahern represents exactly what it means to be an outstanding student athlete. Ahern is a star on the Rams football team, and he also wrestled in the state individual finals earlier this year. He is a leader in his sports as well as a leader in the classroom because Ahern maintains a 4.18 GPA, and it's easy to see why he stays on top of his studies.
When I was little, I'd always freak out because I didn't want homework on the weekends, so I'd always try and get it done Friday night. And my brother would always be like, "What are you doing all your homework Friday night?" And I was like, if I just get it done now, I don't have to worry about it, and just make me feel better, and it just works from there. Work hard and stay consistent. Staying consistent's what's going to get you places.
Right now, Ahern is leaning towards studying engineering in college, but he hopes to play football or wrestle when the next chapter begins.
Our next Meijer Scholar athlete is a three-sport star with a huge dream. Zeeland East High School junior Gabe Amid participates in track, football, and wrestling. His favorite sport is without a doubt football, and he uses pole vaulting and wrestling to become even better on the gridiron. Amid is also a stud in the classroom with a 3.7 GPA, and he spends a lot of his free time volunteering at youth wrestling meets. Amid works hard, and his goal is to someday become a meteorologist at a local TV station.
As a kid, I was always fascinated with thunder and lightning and, how the radar and stuff moved, and I was always very curious about it. And it was August morning. We had a really big thunderstorm here in Zeeland, and a lightning bolt hit the tree, and I was very close to that tree, and it just absolutely amazed me. And so since then, I've always been more curious and interested in how, meteorology and the atmospheric science works.
Amid says he wants to play football in college, but they need to have a meteorology program. He's already a weatherman just for his family back in Zeeland.
This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week plays 3 sports and is ranked 2nd in his class. North Point Christian High School senior Gibson Adema works round the clock year round, whether it's on the football field, the basketball court, or the baseball diamond. Adema is also in the school orchestra and a member of the National Honor Society with a 4.25 GPA, which is good enough to be the Mustangs salutatorian for the class of 2023. He loves math and says he hopes to use his mathematic prowess in a front office for an MLB team someday.
It just really intrigues me, and I love playing baseball, and I also just love the numbers side of it and just how you can analyze the game from so many different ways to enable to be a better player. It just shows me where my inaccuracies are with my mechanics, or what part of my game I'm struggling with, and how that can correlate to what I change in my game to be able to make those parts better and be a better player.
Adema hopes to work with his favorite team, the Detroit Tigers, who will play college baseball at Indiana Wesleyan next year and study data sciences. Our newest Meijer Scholar athlete is a 4-sport athlete, and while we never classified them as such, they consider themselves to be a self-admitted nerd. Kent City High School senior Savannah Miller is very busy. Miller plays basketball, volleyball, and softball, but decided this year to play on the golf team at Kent City High School as well, because why not, right? On top of that, she's tied for 2nd in the class with a 4.0 GPA. Miller aspires to become a physician's assistant, and it comes from her upbringing.
I kind of always grew up around the health field and healthcare and stuff because my mom was a nurse and my dad works in the hospitals and stuff, so it always interested me. When I was little, my dad would always recite the periodic table of elements with me at the dinner table. It was just something we kind of did because he's kind of a nerd too. So I just kind of liked it growing up, and then it became something that I really enjoyed in school.
She was just destined to be smart. Miller plans to attend Grand Valley State to study to become a PA. Our next Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week not only is an anchor on the offensive line, but he also has a grasp on his studies. South Christian High School senior Alex Muhlenberg plays a huge role on the Sailors' offensive line. Football is the only sport he plays, so he dedicates a lot of time to football as the Sailors center. But he also finds a way to get his work done for classes. Muhlenberg has been able to boast an impressive 4.06 GPA and is ranked 20th in the senior class at South Christian. He says he learned some big lessons along the way to succeed in both sports and the classroom.
Time management. Got to know that if you have a big project due, that you can't do it all in one night with sports. You got to slowly work on it, take a couple hours out of it each night. Then if something comes up like a late practice, you got to be ready to prepare for that and you got to always stay ahead of schedule. A couple long nights where I was not prepared, and then just over time I got better grades when I started doing that.
Muhlenberg is really good with numbers and hopes to become an accountant someday. He has narrowed down his college choices to 5 schools: Hillsdale, Northwood, Ferris State, Davenport, or Central Michigan. It's time to introduce you to our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week. This next student has big dreams and does whatever it takes to reach her goals. Belding senior Emma Springer is one of the best cross-country runners in West Michigan. She's also pretty good at pole vault as well. She was all-conference this year, running the 3.1-mile race in 21 minutes and 33 seconds. Springer also boasts an impressive 3.8 GPA and is ranked 11th overall in her senior class at Belding High School. She says as soon as she got to high school, she realized she needed to step up her game in all aspects of being a student athlete.
I focus a lot on my schoolwork and my athletics. I try to balance them pretty well. I have a determined time I study, and I make sure I don't get behind because it's hard to catch back up. Just over practice, I started off in honors classes my freshman year, and then I realized I have a lot of work with my athletics determining all my time.
Springer does not know where she wants to attend college just yet, but she does want to study physical therapy to help athletes get back to playing the sports they love. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is a 2-sport star that's enjoying success for the very team he grew up rooting for as a child. East Kentwood senior Jason Yoshifowski shines on the Falcons hockey team. He's a co-captain on the ice and says it's a great honor for him, especially since he grew up coming to games at East Kentwood. Yoshifowski also plays baseball. On top of his hockey and baseball duties, he spends a lot of time studying for his AP classes or his SAT prep. His hard work in the classroom has earned him a 4.12 GPA and a top 25% rank at East Kentwood. He takes pride in his dedication to his studies.
You know, it just takes hard work and a lot of studying. You just, you have a lot to do, a lot on your plate at all times, and just getting it done every day. Wake up with like a goal and just get after it, On a normal day, I wake up with the intent to be better than I was yesterday in everything I do.
Yoshifowski's intent to study business when he goes to college. He's hoping to get accepted to the University of Michigan. It's that time of week to introduce you to our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete, and this next athlete is impressive. Coopersville senior volleyball star Emily May shines on and off the court for the Broncos. She's been on the varsity volleyball and basketball teams at Coopersville since her freshman year. And if her 4.059 GPA doesn't impress you, this will. May is in the top 10 of her class. Not top 10%, top 10 students. You might recognize May for her height, but it is her smile that shines through. And May wants to help others to smile bright, as she hopes to become a dental hygienist someday.
I really like helping other people, and I think a smile is a really important thing to people. So getting to see other people show their smile off is really a cool thing to me. I do actually enjoy going to the dentist quite a bit. It's nice to hear compliments about your teeth and stuff. So, I just want to be like that in other people's lives too.
After she finishes her senior year, May will continue her volleyball career at the next level at Ferris State, where she plans to study dentistry. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete has been a great athlete ever since she began her career at Sparta. Senior cross-country runner Emma Janisak has been on the Spartans varsity cross-country team for 4 years. She can really fly, too. Janisak runs a mile in 5 minutes and 23 seconds. On top of her impressive feats while running, she is also a member of the National Honor Society and is president of the Student Council. She juggles all of these responsibilities while maintaining an impressive 4.35 GPA. Janisak says she does whatever she can to stay on top of her studies.
As soon as practice gets out, I go home and I have a planner. I always make sure to plan out my schedule, and whatever time I get when I get home, that's time I use to study and finish homework. As soon as I'm assigned something, I try to get it done so it's not all piling up at once, and I can divert my focus between cross and school evenly.
Janisak says she wants to study sociology and government in politics at either Michigan, Michigan State, or Grand Valley State. Her goal is to make change in a positive way. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is a leader in whatever he decides to get involved in. Forest Hills Northern High School senior Ben Tuttle excels in anything he puts his mind to. Tuttle is the captain of the Husky swim team and was a drum major for the school's marching band. He's also a member of the National Honor Society with a 3.9 GPA. He has big plans for the future. He wants to study biomedical engineering in hopes to reverse paralyzation.
My grandpa was paralyzed in a car accident when I was a little kid, and there's like new research about how like they can like help reverse that nerve damage, and so it's just something I've been passionate about. I've been interested with like the body, and like especially in the future as we get closer to like helping people heal like internally with cells without like surgery. I feel like that's super cool.
Tuthill does not know where he's going to school just yet, but he's applied to Michigan, Hope, Calvin, and GVSU. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is not just the top scorer for one of the best basketball teams in the state, but he's also one of the brightest students at his school. Muskegon senior Jordan Brooks is a cross-country star and has also been lighting it up for the Big Reds basketball team. The two-year captain averages 19 points per game for Muskegon, but what might be more impressive are Briggs' accolades off the court. Briggs is in the school's National Honor Society and juggles a part-time job at Culver's while still maintaining a 3.83 GPA. He says his student-athlete mindset starts at home.
My parents never really let me play if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do in school, and our coaches are on that also. So, you know, school always has to come first, and they put that into me since I was young. It can be hard at times. There's times you don't feel like doing work, or with you have a lot on your plate. Balancing both has been kind of hard, but I've been able to do it.
Briggs will be playing college basketball next year at Wayne State. His goal is to go pro, but if that does not work out, he's thinking about a career in business. Our next Meijer Scholar Athlete loves getting challenged and conquering her quests. Northview High School senior Erin Finema is a star bowler for the Wildcats. She's a co-captain of the Northview bowling team and averages a 177 score at the Alley. Finema is always looking to improve in bowling and her studies. She maintains a 4.0 GPA at Northview and is taking AP Computer Science. As a type 1 diabetic, Finema has some big goals to help others as a web developer in the future.
I'm also hoping to maybe like engineer software and stuff because I'm a diabetic, and so if I can make software to help me and other people, that'd be pretty sick. Definitely like at the beginning of high school, it was a lot of, this computer science class is really interesting, and then it's just like doing different aspects of it, and now I've like reached the computer science, like the AP part of it, so I've kind of like gone up the ladder.
Finema is looking to study computer science at either North Carolina, Penn State, Western Michigan, or Michigan Tech. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is a two-sport star and is not just a leader at school, but at home as well. Montague High School senior Emma Peterson shines in both basketball and soccer. She also serves as a role model as the oldest of 4 girls in her family. Peterson is involved outside of sports as an NHS officer. She serves as a referee for youth basketball and soccer, and she volunteers at her church. With all those responsibilities, Peterson still maintains a 4.38 GPA. And with all of that on her plate, she says it's important to stay dedicated to her studies.
I'd say it takes hard work just in and out of the classroom. You have to put in time at home as well. I'd say my parents always help me to just work hard no matter what it is. They just tell me to put in as much effort as I can. I'd say definitely don't procrastinate whatever you're doing and just keep on going even if it's hard.
Peterson will take her talents to Muskegon Community College, where she plans on studying nursing and also playing soccer. The newest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week never misses any of her commitments, whether it's a meeting or a practice. Spring Lake High School senior Emma Nichols is a 3-sport star for the Lakers. She plays basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Nichols is also a member of the school's National Honor Society, and she maintains an impressive 4.0 GPA. Nichols says she has to make some sacrifices to be a good student athlete, but it's always worth it.
I think just like having good time management and knowing when to do your homework and like when sometimes you have to push off like doing fun things with your friends, and having time to make sure to go to practice and having to do tests or studying after too, just being willing to put in the time there. Just find stuff that you enjoy doing and continue to do that and put in the time there.
Nichols hopes to attend the University of Michigan, where she plans to study pre-med with a minor in Spanish. Nichols wants to work in pediatrics to help not just kids, but she hopes to work with families whose first language might not be English. This next Meijer Scholar athlete is not only a star in the classroom and in sports, but is one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. West Catholic senior Jack Bardish has played 3 sports in his time in high school, including tennis and golf. But his favorite sport is the beautiful game, soccer. Bardish was named a team captain of the Falcons, but missed a large portion of his senior year after he tore his meniscus. However, the injury did not stop him on the field or in the classroom. He has a 4.09 GPA. Bardish says the key to being a good student athlete just comes down to one thing: having a kind heart.
It takes dedication, kindness, understanding, hard work. That's what I'd say it takes to be a good student athlete, because you have to focus on the school aspect and the sport, and you want to make sure everyone that you impact, whether it's in the school or in the game, thinks of you in a good sense, kindly, whether they were your opponent or your teammate. Be dedicated to the game and be dedicated to your education.
Bardish's goal is to attend the University of Notre Dame to study law. He wants to wear the blue and gold and become a criminal defense lawyer, just like his dad, Michael.
This newest Meijer Scholar athlete is involved in so many different activities. It seems like there are not enough hours in the day, but he always finds a way to get everything done. North Muskegon senior Jack Earn is involved in so many activities, it's not even funny. He plays soccer, runs cross country and track. He's a member of the high school orchestra. He participates in the Grand Rapids Youth Symphony, and he decided to join the North Muskegon football team as a kicker this season. With all that responsibility, Earn has been able to maintain a 3.98 GPA during his time at North Muskegon. Earn says it takes a lot of focus to balance his schoolwork on top of his athletics.
My parents always tell me to put academics first, so I usually get my homework done and all that before I think about sports. But I don't know. I like the combination of the both of them. Sports kind of helps me clear my head with all the school stuff I got going on, and then get back to school stuff after sports is done.
After he is done with high school, Earn hopes to attend Michigan, Michigan State, or Grand Valley State. He hopes to work with the environment in biotechnology. And if you know someone who should be a Meijer Scholar athlete, nominate them on our website, 13onyourside.com. We nominate a new Scholar athlete every single Wednesday.
It's Thursday morning, so that means it's time to meet our latest Meijer Scholar athlete. And this next kid has to be one of the brightest minds, not just in West Michigan, but in the entire country. Forest Hills Central senior Caroline Logan is a very hard worker. She's the team captain of the Rangers rowing team that finished 7th at the Scholastic Rowing National Championship. But this will impress you even more. Logan is one of 306 students in the world to receive a perfect score on her AP research exam, where she analyzed the correlation between allocation of funding by school boards and how that impacts student achievement in Michigan. That's impressive.
I was excited. It was my research paper, so for AP research I got a perfect score. And I mean, it was definitely exciting because it means you did a good job, but I was excited. I don't really love to study in some ways, but I really like learning. I think everything I've been able to learn has been super cool and really applicable to life.
Logan has a 4.4 GPA at Forest Hills Central. She does not know where she's going to school yet or what she wants to do after graduation, but she loves learning new languages and chemistry, so maybe she can find something that has a focus on both of those things. It's that time of the week again, time to meet our newest Meijer Scholar athlete. This kid is the definition of an overachiever. Calvin Christian senior Jax Vogel has been the top singles player for the Squires tennis team for the last 3 years. Since the Squires tennis coach does not teach at the high school, Vogel is the one who starts practice. On top of being a great team leader, he also maintains an impressive 4.19 GPA in the classroom. His goal is to own a small business someday, and Vogel has already started. He has a car detailing business that he runs in his spare time just to make a little extra money.
It's very satisfying seeing all the work get done, and after hours of work, seeing where you were and where you've come. I found it on YouTube. I saw someone do it and I thought it was something that I could try, so I started my own business and that was it. Schedule myself whenever I have time open, so whenever tennis is not happening or schoolwork, and make as much money as I can with the time I have.
Vogel is looking to study business at either Grand Valley State or Calvin University. If he decided to go to Calvin, he would love to continue his tennis career there. Well, this week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is a do-it-all kind of person on the court, on the diamond, and of course, in the classroom. Fruitport junior Ashton Olsen is a three-sport star for the Trojans. This is her first year on the varsity volleyball team, but she has been on the varsity softball and basketball teams at Fruitport since her freshman year. Even with the after-school workload, Olsen is able to maintain an impressive 4.0 GPA, and she's in the top 2% of her class. Olsen says she doesn't have any excuses to complete all of her work.
I mean, just always getting your work done, doing your homework, getting everything done on time and coming to practice on time. I get done pretty easily during other classes. When I'm not doing something, I'll do something else, get it done late. You just have to get everything done. Put priorities first. I never really get a break. I mean, I go from one sport right into the next, so it's hard work, but just training always gives it that extra little bit of help, motivation.
I love it. No excuses, just get it done. Olsen wants to be a police officer when she gets older. She thinks she has the right amount of grit to do a good job. She's only a junior, so she hasn't applied to schools just yet, but she's hoping to go to either Michigan State or Muskegon Community College. It's time to introduce you to our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete, who isn't just a good student athlete, but a great leader as well. Muskegon Orchard View senior Alexa Ace Bordeaux has been captain of the Cardinals cross-country team the last 3 seasons. She also plays soccer at the high school as well. Bordeaux maintains an impressive 3.89 GPA while having cross-country practice after school, having a job, and while taking college classes at Muskegon Community College. Sometimes she stays up until 1 a.m. so she can get all of her work done. It's easy to see Bordeaux is driven, and it makes sense that she wants to go to law school someday.
It's always been a goal of mine since I was a kid, and so my main goal is to teach people about their rights. I'm really big on social justice, and I think everyone deserves like a chance to have their voice be heard, and everyone deserves to have equal opportunities and things like that. And if there's a way that I can help with that, then I would love to.
Bordeaux wants to become a public defender when she's done with law school. She will get her associate's degree at MCC before going to another school to obtain her bachelor's. Our next Meijer Scholar Athlete has so much on her agenda, and somehow she's still able to shine. Rockford High School senior Kayla McLaren plays basketball and softball for the Rams. McLaren is a star in both sports, also a member of the school's National Honor Society, and she also spends much of her time volunteering. With all that workload, McLaren is still able to maintain a 4.0 GPA, and her secret is the plan ahead.
Anybody can do it, and it's just really important for you to plan out your weeks, plan out your days, so that every hour is like used to the fullest potential, so you can get everything done and still have time for yourself, because that's important too. I just really have to manage my time wisely so I can get all my homework done.
Wise words. McLaren will be going to Western Michigan to study communications. She's looking to go into pre-law as well.
It is that time of the week to introduce you to a new Meijer Scholar Athlete. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is a do-it-all type of kid who plays 3 sports at Newaygo. Lions senior Grant Harkness plays football, basketball, and baseball at Newaygo. He also plays both sides of the ball for the Lions football team at quarterback and defensive back. On top of his athletics, Harkness gets it done in the classroom. The senior is an honor student at Newaygo with a 4.27 GPA. While Harkness loves what he does on the field, he knows it would not be possible if he didn't handle the work needed to be done in the classroom first.
It's more of a classroom first student athlete, so being focused in the classroom helps me be focused out on the field. Just like keeping myself straight. Football also helps the classroom. Get to take it out, everything all out here, so just helps me stay straight in the classroom. You don't get to be out here without passing your classes, so make sure you get that student part down.
The goal for Harkness is to attend Notre Dame and study finance. He took a visit to South Bend and just fell in love with the campus. Head to 13onyourside.com to nominate your athlete next week.
This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete really knows how to juggle several activities while getting her job done in the classroom. Grand Haven High School senior Caroline Heitzman does it all. She plays soccer, runs cross country, and will be joining the track team for the Buccaneers. Not only is she a three-sport star, but she's also in the National Honor Society, and she spends time volunteering at the North Ottawa Community Hospital. With all those responsibilities, Heitzman maintains a 4.0 GPA. The crazy thing is, she says the busier she gets, the better her grades are.
I actually do a lot better when I'm in sports. Like, I don't have a winter sport, and I find that not my grades dip a lot, like a ton, but I definitely am less focused just because I don't have those time constraints after school where I'm like, oh, I have to go home and get all of this done. So it's just the less pressure I feel like I put myself under, the more relaxed I get. So the pressure of sports actually helped me do better.
Bright kid. Heitzman says her dream school is Boston College. She wants to go into the medical field and work in some aspect of neurology. The newest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week doesn't just shine in the classroom and in sports, but he also takes pride in his ability to listen. Allendale High School senior Aaron Holsteg stands out among his peers. He was named an all-state football player for the Falcons, and Holsteg is also a stud on the mat for the Allendale wrestling team. Holsteg really takes pride in his schoolwork. He loves math and has a 3.95 GPA to show for it. He says he's learned to soak everything like a sponge, and listening goes a long way.
I mean, first of all, you gotta be a good student in the classroom and then work hard, listen to your coaches, be coachable. I learned it from my parents. Just gotta, you're just a high schooler, and the coaches, they have so much more experience than you, so you just gotta listen to them and trust them, even though sometimes as high schoolers you think you know it all, but you really don't.
Holsteg hopes to stay local for college and wants to potentially play football for either Ferris State, Grand Valley State, or Davenport, and study either business or construction management. He wants to be an architect and build homes. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is determined to discover more about our friends under the sea, or more locally, in our neighboring lakes and ponds. East Grand Rapids High School senior McKenna Gessner shines for the Pioneers field hockey team. Not only does Gessner stand out on the field, but she's great in the classroom as well. Gessner maintains an impressive 3.6 GPA while balancing her studies and field hockey with soccer. She says the key to being a great student athlete is to understand time management. The ultimate dream for Gessner is to study marine biology and learn how fish operate in their ecosystem.
Ever since I was a kid, I always used to go to aquariums and look at the fish. And my mom said I could sit there for hours and just look and be there with the fish. And I actually went back there this past spring break to an aquarium down in Georgia. And again, I sat there and I looked at the fish and reclaimed my passion for it. So I'm looking forward to starting.
Gessner hopes to study marine biology at Michigan State next year. It's another Thursday morning, which means it's time to meet the newest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week. And this next kid really loves to go above and beyond. Trey Carr is the starting quarterback at Hudsonville High School. And he's also one of the smartest kids in school. Carr maintains a very impressive 4.18 GPA and is in the top 2% of his class at Hudsonville. He says time management and caffeine are big keys to being a good student athlete. Carr aspires to become a pediatrician, and that dream stems from his experiences with the Hudsonville football team.
Well, it kind of started out through football too, because every Friday for Hudsonville football we go to kids' classrooms, and last year I got assigned to like a pre-K classroom, and I loved working with the kids in there, and it was just super fun and wholesome to me. And throughout the winter I tutored a couple kids, and I just love working with kids, and I love the whole medical aspect. I think it's really interesting.
Carr is going through the application process at the moment. He's applying to Michigan, Hope, and Washington, St. Louis. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete knows all about the balancing act of academics and athletics. Hart High School junior Abby Hicks plays 3 sports for the Pirates: volleyball, softball, and basketball. But playing hoops is by far her favorite sport. And Hicks' favorite subject in school is math. With her attitude, Hicks has been able to maintain a 3.8 GPA. And she says you really have to put your nose to the grindstone to be a great student athlete.
You have to work on and off the court all the time. Like, just
Always working, I guess. DMGB, doesn't matter, get better. So you always have to put in the effort to do what you're working for. I feel like I definitely always am gritty and I always want to do good things, always trying to do my best. Probably just always pushing, always work at what you want. Like set a goal for yourself and just try to get there.
Hicks has a few goals she really wants to achieve. She wants to play college basketball and hopes to become a nurse someday, just like her mom.
Our next Meijer Scholar athlete is not only a star in 3 different sports and the classroom, but she's also viewed as a leader amongst her peers. North Point Christian High School senior Bree Tubergen gives it her all in basketball, volleyball, and soccer. She also gives 100% in the classroom, where she maintains a 3.89 GPA at North Point Christian. Tubergen says her favorite subject is college algebra and says the help she gets from her family and friends helps her succeed as a student athlete.
For me, it's really important to have a good support system behind you. Having my family is really important, and just like making sure you stay ahead on your schoolwork and just know what you need to do well in school and to perform on the court or the field. My dad is super supportive of me. He always pushes me to just be the best athlete and the best student I can be. He always makes sure I put school first.
That's a good dad right there. Tubergen hopes to play volleyball at college next year. She does not know where yet, but Indiana Wesleyan is on the top of her list. She wants to study physical therapy.
This week's Meijer Scholar athlete is quite tall, and it's easy to see why he stands apart from the pack. Kenowa Hills High School senior Nolan Thayer played 3 sports during his time as a Knight: football, basketball, and baseball. However, baseball is his favorite, as he started all 4 years on varsity. Thayer is quite the whiz kid as well. He has a 4.11 GPA and is ranked 9th in his class. The National Honor Society member and peer-to-peer participant had the integrity and drive to do well in sports and school.
For me, it was just showing up every day, and I mean, just doing what the teachers asked and putting in hard work when I needed to, studying obviously, but I mean, just showing up and listening and paying attention goes a long way to start, and I think that puts me ahead of a lot of other kids that just maybe sleep or do other things that maybe don't go noticed, I guess, is being a good student.
Thayer will take his talents to the University of Michigan in the fall, where he plans to major in kinesiology. Right now, he's looking at a career in occupational or physical therapy. The newest Meijer Scholar athlete has a mindset that is absolutely out of this world. City High School junior Taylor Pierce James is a star on the track. She competes in the relays and the hurdles, which is where she stands out from the pack. Outside of sports, Pierce James is also on the NAACP Youth Council and helps with the Urban League. She's also in the National Honor Society with a stellar 4.68 GPA. And if that doesn't impress you, this will. Pierce James wants to go into a career in astrophysics.
I guess mostly like the math and like the computer parts of it, like actually, I want to like find planets like mathematically, like in the universe. I don't want to go to them, but I want to be like, hey, there's a planet, you should go there. I just think like it's just really fascinating because like there's always more to learn. Like you never stop learning about the universe, and it's just like it's so far away, but then like on a grand scale, it's like so close.
Unbelievable. Pierce James plans to run in college, but doesn't know where yet. However, wherever she decides to go, that school is getting a shooting star. Our latest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week is a 3-sport star who has taken his talents to the next level. Big Rapids High School senior Ben Knuth played baseball, basketball, and cross country during his 4 years as a Cardinal. He's well respected, as he is in Big Rapids athletic leadership. As occupied as Knuth is with sports, he is just as busy outside of any athletic events. He's in the school's student council and the National Honor Society with a 3.9 GPA. Knuth said being a good student athlete is all about time management.
It takes a lot of time and effort. I mean, you really got to put your head down to work every day, and you can't like slack off any days. You can't take any days off. It's a balance for me, honestly. Having a lot of work sometimes kind of is hard with sports, but I've been able to manage it and balance it pretty well. I guess I've always kind of had it, just school first, get everything done for school, and then after that, it's just sports time.
Sports time is continuing for Knuth. He will run cross country at Fair State, where he plans to study land surveying. Our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week has a very creative mindset when it comes to his future goals. White Cloud High School senior Alex Cruzan is very well respected by his peers. He shined in 3 sports for the Indians: football, basketball, and baseball. He is also the treasurer for the school council and a member of Voice of Reason. Cruzan stands out in the classroom as well. He's in the school's National Honor Society with a 4.1 GPA and is ranked 4th in his class. With that brain of his, Cruzan wants to go into a career in pharmacy.
I want to be a pharmacist so I can help people understand what they're taking on a daily basis. Because during COVID-19, I just started to have this curiosity of what's actually inside of the coronavirus vaccine. And with that, at that time I was looking for a career, and I thought of pharmacist. So that's pretty cool.
Cruzan will play college baseball at Cornerstone and hopes to earn a scholarship as a Golden Eagle and show the team what he's got. Our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete is a busy bee and as kind as one can be. Sparta High School junior Kennedy Wood is a track star for the Spartans. Wood also runs cross country in the fall and competes in gymnastics during the winter. She helps coach gymnastics as well. Outside of sports, Wood is equally as busy. She's a member of the Student Council and the National Honor Society with a 4.32 GPA and is ranked #1 in her class. Wood says the secret to success is staying organized.
I think it just takes a lot of time management, going home from practice and working on schoolwork for a set amount of time, while also kind of building in time to hang out with friends and do the things that you love to do. It's something that I kind of had to learn, especially in high school, throughout my years as an athlete. I like to procrastinate, so I had to learn how to manage my time so I could get my schoolwork done and also my workouts done too.
Wood hangs with some good people too. She's best friends with former Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week, Emma Janisak. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week is as extroverted as they come. Byron Center High School senior Chloe Feather is involved in pretty much every single activity on campus. She's on the Bulldogs cheer team. She throws discus and shot put on the track team. She does ballet. She participates in the Pride Pack and is the class president. With all of that on her plate, Feather is also on the school's National Honor Society with a 4.14 GPA. Feather says being well-rounded has helped her excel in the classroom.
I honestly think it just takes really just pushing yourself and holding yourself to a high standard. I feel like I always was the person who held myself to my own standard. I was never pressured by teachers or parents or peers. I wanted to do good for myself. I feel like it just takes finding it within yourself and gaining self-confidence to just go out and do what you need to do.
Feather has received a competitive scholarship to attend the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, where she plans to study microbiology in hopes of going into veterinary pathology. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete of the Week hopes to someday find a cure for cancer. Grand River Preparatory High School senior Connor Eiler is a star on the school soccer team, but his accomplishments go far beyond the pitch. He was named the student body president and maintains a top-of-the-notch 4.0 GPA. Eiler has big dreams. He wants to study pre-med in hopes of becoming the doctor who stops cancer after some tough family experiences.
Everyone in my family has had cancer, and my grandpa, when I was 10, it hit him really hard, and I remember just sitting there oh dang, I can't really do anything about that. It mean a lot, when I was 10 or so, I remember not being able to do anything, so I feel like if they have someone they could trust, I guess I could be that person.
Eiler has a full ride scholarship to play soccer at Aquinas, where he plans to major in biology. Our newest Meijer Scholar Athlete loves school so much that she wants to work at one someday. Wayland Union High School senior Cadence Bottrell is a star on the Wildcats bowling team. She made it all the way to the state finals and finished in 5th place. Bottrell bowled on average just over a 200 in league play. She's also money in the classroom. She has a 3.56 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society. Bottrell has big dreams. She hopes to become an elementary school teacher someday.
I really want to help students who are like me, who are big hands-on learners and not very like people who need lectures and stuff like that. I want to be able to help students who maybe need that extra push from somebody. I started doing teaching this year, and I also work with my special education students at my school, and they are the love of my life, and I want to end up possibly even doing that or like regular teaching. I love kids.
Bottrell will study early education at Davenport, where she also plans to bowl as well. This week's Meijer Scholar Athlete is also the final student that we are honoring this school year. East Kentwood standout Kayla Harris just wrapped up her junior year of high school, and it was quite the year. Harris throws shot put and discus for the Falcons and just finished 4th in the state in the shot put. The Falcon also volunteers at her church, is a member of the school's athletic leadership council, and is in the National Honor Society with a 4.0 GPA. The junior says it's all about time management.
It definitely takes time and commitment. Also, it takes having just a rigorous schedule, knowing when you have to be here, do this, and just having time management skills. It just took a lot of learning, like, sacrifices, learning, like having to weigh your options, like figure out which option is better, more sleep or hanging out with friends or study for the test or, just stuff like that.
Harris wants to throw in college, but preferably somewhere warm. She also aspires to be a marine biologist someday because she loves the ocean and animals.